Most business books are fluff. Last year, I read close to 50 books, and I swear 45 of them felt like they were written by someone copy-pasting the same inspirational fluff into different fonts. They recycle ideas, repackage old concepts, and fall into one of three traps. They're either too theoretical, overly motivational, or completely disconnected from the real challenges of running a business. If I had to suffer through one more chapter of recycled advice dressed up as a breakthrough strategy, I was going to start writing my own book, titled How to Burn a Bestseller in 10 Days. And speaking of burning things, if I have to keep reading bad business books, the least you can do is subscribe to the channel so I don't go into a full meltdown. But then I came across this book, 12 Months to $1 Million by Ryan Daniel Moran. And let me tell you, this book is different. It grabs you by the collar and says, here's exactly how to build a $1 million business. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's built for anyone wanting to start an online business. The author boils it down to a straightforward strategy. Create 4 products, price each product at $25, and sell 25 units of each product per day. And there you have it, a $1 million business. And this is where the book shines. It cuts through the noise and focuses on the how, not just the why. I'll start with my favorite part about this book, and that is finding your niche. It's a controversial topic. Some successful entrepreneurs will tell you that finding your niche is not as important, but I agree with the author that your odds are better if you find your niche. Entrepreneurs often think too wide, casting a net so broad that it catches no one. The broader your focus, the weaker your business. In other words, pick one very specific niche, know them better than they know themselves, and sell to them relentlessly. Let me give you a perfect example from the book, Black Rifle Coffee Company. You've probably heard of them. This isn't just another brand trying to go toe-to-toe with Starbucks or Dunkin'. They did not make the mistake of thinking they needed to please everyone who drinks coffee. Instead, they went all in on serving a very specific audience: military veterans, law enforcement, and patriotic Americans who crave bold coffee and share pro-American values. Every single decision that Black Rifle Coffee makes, from naming products like Silencer Smooth to their marketing videos full of military humor, is designed to resonate with this tight-knit group. And guess what? It worked! They did not just attract customers, they built a community of fiercely loyal fans who buy their coffee because it represents them. Here's another example from the book. Instead of creating a generic product like a fitness supplement, the author suggests finding a niche like a pre-workout supplement for busy moms. The narrower your focus, the better you can serve your audience. And when you solve a specific problem, people don't just buy, they become loyal customers who spread the word. Entrepreneurs fail because they try to appeal to everyone, and in doing so, they lose the chance to deeply connect with anyone. Black Rifle Coffee is a perfect example. I am a big coffee guy, and I've had their coffee. Trust me, there's nothing special about their coffee. It's just regular coffee, but it's coffee with a very, very specific branding. Lesson 1 is about finding your niche, but even if you've nailed that, there's something even more dangerous: focusing too much on your competition. Let's talk about it. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but instead of focusing on your competition, you should be focusing on your customers. I think a lot of small business owners need to hear this, myself included. I mean, it's tempting to obsess over what your competition is doing, but in reality, your competitors aren't the ones paying you. Your customers are. One example the author shares is a story of 2 brands in the supplement space. Brand A spent all its energy copying the top players in the market. They mimicked product labels, matched pricing, and even tried to replicate marketing strategies, hoping to steal some market share. Brand B, however, went in a completely opposite direction. Instead of focusing on what everyone else was doing, they got laser focused on their customers. They surveyed their audience, asked what they wanted in a supplement, and developed a unique product tailored to their needs. The result? Brand A remained a shadow, constantly trying to catch up, but Brand B carved out a loyal customer base that could not get enough of their product. Why? Because the niche you pick does not care if you're beating your competition. They care if you're solving their problems. The lesson here is simple. Every minute you spend worrying about what your competition is doing is a minute you're not using to engage with your customers. When you listen to your audience, you don't just create a better product, you build trust. So forget about your competition, obsess over your customers. They're the ones who will take your business to the next level. Lesson 3, build your audience before your product. Imagine launching a product to a crowd that's already waiting with their wallets out, eager to buy. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But most entrepreneurs get this completely wrong. They spend months or even years creating a product, perfecting every detail, only to launch and be met with crickets. Why? because they did not have an audience. The author here flips the traditional approach on its head, and his advice is to build your audience first and then create the product that they want. Here's how Moran explains it. Start by picking a very specific niche, a clearly defined group of people with shared interests or problems. Use social media, email newsletters, or a blog to create content that resonates with them. This isn't about selling your product yet. It's about building trust and engagement. Think of yourself as an entertainer, an educator, or even just a helpful voice in the community. The goal is to connect with your audience, provide value, and establish yourself as someone who understands them. Meanwhile, in the background, you are developing your product based on the feedback that you're gathering from your audience. This is where the magic happens. You're not guessing what they want. You're learning it directly from them. They tell you their pain points, preferences, and desires, and you create something that solves their problems perfectly. By the time your product is ready to launch, you're not selling to strangers. You're offering a solution to a group of people who already trust you. The author shares a memorable story in the book about one of his students who built a following in the niche for dog owners who love hiking. For months, they posted tips, photos, and videos about hiking with dogs, engaging with their audience, and building a loyal community. During the time, they worked quietly on their product, a durable, ergonomic hiking leash designed specifically for outdoor-loving dog owners. When they finally launched their product, it wasn't hard to sell. Their audience had been primed for months, and they were excited to support the brand. The result? A wildly successful launch that would not have been possible without the groundwork of audience building. So the lesson here is to start with people, build a community, engage with them authentically, and let their needs guide your product creation. Lesson 4, the 3 stages. Building $1 million business is not a walk in the park. It's a journey. And the author breaks this journey down into 3 clear stages: the grind, the growth, and the gold. Each stage has its own challenges, but most people don't make it past the first stage. Why? Because the first stage, which is the grind, demands everything you've got and then some. Stage 1, the grind. If you've ever dreamed of starting a business and living the freedom lifestyle, the grind will shatter those illusions quickly. This stage is messy, it's chaotic, it's downright exhausting. It's where you're hustling to get your product to the market, validating ideas, and scrambling to land those first few sales. There's no work-life balance, and your business is your life. And the author does not sugarcoat this part. The grind is where most entrepreneurs throw in the towel because it's difficult. You're wearing all the hats: product development, marketing, customer service, logistics, and everything in between. You're waking up early, staying up late, and sacrificing time with friends, family, and even yourself. You're even somehow supporting yourself financially, but the grind is where the foundation of your business is built. This stage is about proving to yourself and the market that your idea works. It's where you test, tweak, and refine your product based on real-world feedback. If you can endure the grind, you have already won half the battle. Stage 2, the growth. Once you've validated your product and built some traction, you'll enter the growth. This stage is all about scaling what works. The chaos of the grind starts to settle as you find your rhythm. You figured out your target audience, dialed in your marketing, and developed a system to handle the day-to-day operations. Now it's time to double down on what's working and grow your business. Moran explains that the growth is where you move from being a scrappy startup to a legitimate business. This stage is all about optimization, refining your processes, increasing your efficiency, and leveraging your time and resources. It's also where you begin to see the results of your hard work, because sales are coming in consistently, your audience is growing, and you're starting to feel like you've got some momentum. Stage 3, the gold. This is the stage that every entrepreneur dreams of, the gold. Your business is running smoothly, systems are in place, and revenue is consistent. You've built something sustainable, and now you've got options. You can either step back and enjoy the freedom that you've worked so hard for, reinvest in your business to scale even further, or sell the business for a life-changing payout. What makes this book stand out, at least in my opinion, is its sharp focus on finding and serving a niche. And this idea hits home for me because when I look back at all the businesses that I failed at, the common thread was that I was trying to do too much and chasing too many markets all at once. It's also incredibly practical. Create 4 products, price them at $25, and sell 25 units per day. And that simplicity is its genius. So do tell me, what's the most specific niche that you've ever seen? Drop it in the comments.